of a positive PCR test result, the passenger shall be required to undergo mandatory health isolation for 10 days, starting from the test date, excluding the passengers that recovered from COVID-19 but tested positive on arrival from health isolation, provided that they submit proof that they have completed the prescribed isolation period in the country where they were infected before traveling to the Sultanate. The arrivals in the Sultanate are required to present a vaccine certificate stating that they have received 2 doses of a vaccine approved in Oman or 1 dose by the approved health authorities of the country. With new phase that puts investment first to achieve financial returns and advance the state's general budget, the Omani Investment Authority, by issuing its system, enters the actual stage of undertaking its competencies and moving forward towards its goals, driving its position as the investment arm of the government.
The Omani Investment Authority sets 5 goals on its table, from which it begins the journey of work to achieve the greatest amount of returns. For this purpose, the authority aims to managing the Sultanate's funds, assets, development and investment, create reserves and financial savings, contribute to providing the revenues needed to supplement the general budget and achieve financial sustainability, contribute to the implementation of government policies and strategies related to the advancement of economic sectors, enhancing the investment environment and attracting investment to the Sultanate. Those objectives are set to improve the use of financial resources, pay more income to the state treasury, and achieve a disciplined financial balance. All of this comes successively through the competencies entrusted to the agency, including setting general policies for government investments by contributing to the formulation of economic development strategies and programs, investing the funds of the agency inside and outside the Sultanate, distributing them to the economic sectors, and collecting returns from them for their investment, investing in shares, contributions, securities, commercial, currencies, metals, materials, and commodities, management of investments and its subsidiaries in a way that contributes to achieving harmony between investment goals and economic and financial goals, establishing companies of all kinds to carry out the activities of the investment authority and on behalf of the units of the administrative apparatus of the state in the establishment of companies, owning various assets and establishing investment projects alone or with the participation of others inside or outside the Sultanate, structuring of funds, properties, investments or subsidiaries of the authority, granting loans to the agency's subsidiaries according to commercial basis. The Omani Investment Authority is leading the new phase with the country's various bodies in a manner that achieves harmony with the vision of Oman 2040.
The Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones signed a land reservation agreement for the project of green hydrogen and ammonia that the Indian company ACME aims to set up at the Special Economic Zone at Duqm. The Indian company, in the first stage, will conduct field studies installing fans for measuring the speed of wind in Duqm, as well as a station for monitoring the weather for surveys and data collection. The agreement comes within the plan of the authority to promote investment in clean energy by producing hydrogen and ammonia from renewable energy to boost its use in transport and industry. The agreement was signed on behalf of the authority by His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud Al-Snady, Chairman of Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones. And from the ACME company side, it was signed by the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the company. A power purchase agreement was signed by the Central Utilities Company Marafiq, a member of the OQ Group, and the Rural Areas Electricity Company Tanweer, a member of NEMA Group. Through the agreement, Marafiq Company will build and operate a power plant consisting of gas fuel turbines with a capacity of more than 80 megawatts to meet the energy requirements of Tanweer in Duqm. The power production is expected to start in November 2021. Marafiq received natural gas in the Special Economic Zone at Duqm in April 2021 and started the commissioning activities of the integrated power and water plant, which has reached a completion rate of 92%. In cooperation with the Public Services Regulatory Authority, energy companies and Islamic financial institutions, Amana launched today the Renewable Energy Green Mosque Program. More details in the following report.
To provide energy needs for mosques through a comprehensive program that promotes renewable energy and the transformation of mosques into eco-friendly buildings, Amana, in cooperation with the Public Services Regulatory Authority, energy companies, and Islamic financial institutions, launched the Renewable Energy Program Green Mosque.
The initiative today aims at deploying solar energy in the mosques. As you know, Oman has a large number of mosques, and the sustainability of the mosque is very important. So we aim at initially to provide 50% of the requirement from electrical energy to the mosque that we will be converting through solar energy. Also, there will be a saving in the monthly bill from tariff change, because some of these mosques will, as a result of taking over 50% of their production, they will go into a tariff area that is much lower than what they are paying right now.
The Green Mosque project supports the directions of Oman Vision 2040 in terms of achieving about 30% of the Sultanate's energy needs from renewable sources.
The authority in this type of initiative will make sure that the alignment of this type of installation, the alignment between the different type of stakeholders from let's say the electricity company, power companies, and the investors, and the mosques, and the ministry and the mosques. So that is, and putting also the main framework of such type of initiatives to make sure that it is aligned with other stakeholders.
The pilot phase of the Green Mosque program began in November 2020, when solar systems were installed in a number of mosques. Since then, the program has witnessed promising results, which inspired the expansion of the project to be implemented in 100 mosques through 3 packages over 3 years, with an investment of 5 million Oman riyals, part of which will be allocated to projects related to consumption rationalization technologies and generating renewable electricity power. Through this program, the net saving to the electricity bill cost of the mosques will be between 20 to 30% after paying for the investment. Salih Bakhalfan al-Rahbi, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Small and Medium Enterprises Development Authority signed a number of agreements and technical cooperation programs with a number of government institutions, namely Loan Wallet Management Agreement with Oman Development Bank to finance the SME's projects. The SME Authority also signed cooperation agreements with Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones to implement technical cooperation programs to enhance the role of entrepreneurs at the economic zones. It also signed an agreement with the Ministry of Labor to recruit 3,000 job seekers in these small and medium enterprises. Egypt closed its main border crossing point with the Gaza Strip today amid tensions with the territory's Hamas rulers. It was the first time the Rafah crossing was shuttered during a workday since earlier this year. Egyptian authorities had kept it open during the 11-day war between Israel and Hamas in May. According to the Egyptian officials, the closure is related to Cairo's efforts to broker a long-term ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. One official said the move was meant to pressure Hamas because of the differences between Cairo and the group over lack of progress in both the Egyptian-led indirect talks with Israel and also efforts to reconcile Palestinian factions. Egypt has been a key mediator between Israel and Hamas over the years. Following the May war, Egypt has allowed aid and construction convoys into Gaza to help rebuild houses and infrastructure destroyed during the fighting. Aircraft activity continued at Kabul International Airport today as the deadline for evacuations August 31st draws closer. The Dutch Defense Ministry said it has completed 9 flights out of Kabul to airports in the region since the Taliban seized control of Afghanistan. 6 flights carrying evacuees from Afghanistan have arrived in the Netherlands, carrying a total of more than 800 people. That number includes Dutch nationals, Afghans, and citizens of other countries. A deputy foreign minister said Poland has so far evacuated over 400 people from Kabul, including Poles and Afghans who worked for Poland's diplomatic mission or pro-democracy efforts with their family members. French special forces backed by the US Army have helped 260 Afghans who worked with the European Union delegation to get to Kabul airport. Britain is urging the United States to extend its evacuation effort in Kabul beyond the current August 31st deadline. The Taliban are closing in on the Banj Shir, a remote mountain region in northeastern Afghanistan, where the son of famed anti-Soviet and anti-Taliban commander Ahmad Shah Massoud is among those in command. The Banj Shir is the last province of Afghanistan that has not fallen into the Taliban hands, who took the country with swiftness last week as US forces were withdrawing. Its inaccessible gorges have defeated many invaders over the ages, including during the rebellion against the Soviet-backed regime in the 1980s. Ahmad Shah Massoud was one of the most prominent resistant leaders who fought the Soviets and their allies in those years. After the Soviets retreated in 1989 and the communist regime fell, Ahmad Shah Massoud became a defense minister in the newly formed government in 1992. When the Taliban emerged as a dominant force in 1996, Ahmad Shah and his army of ethnic Tajiks proved to be the only ones capable of resisting and even defeating them. Massoud was assassinated by Al-Qaeda on 9th of September 2011, but his legend has lived on. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main headlines once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues a royal decree. Over 2,336,000 people received vaccination against COVID-19 in the Sultanate, with a percentage reaching 66% of the total target group. And the Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones signs a land reservation agreement for the implementation of green hydrogen and ammonia project in Duqm. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night and stay safe.